An earthquake cannot be prevented, but we can prepare for it. And we can prepare for reducing the consequence of an earthquake. And I think now, which we see in this project, but also in many projects, it's also used to inform the population, to inform special vulnerable groups on how to behave in case an earthquake strikes.
The really important thing is the cooperation between teams from all the countries that participate in this exercise, and that we integrate the various levels of civil protection, national one, regional, local one, and international one.
Us, as the project stakeholders, we will provide all valuable information, but it's up to your country, as in any country, to develop this particular plan. And at the end of the day, this is why we are here, to serve all the citizens of Montenegro through your Civil Protection Authority.
The aim of the Balance project is to improve preparedness and response capabilities in the case of Montenegro, in the case of the large scale of the emergency, that Montenegro requires joint coordination reaction facilitated via Union Civil Protection Mechanism.
With the Balance project and its full-scale exercise, we are testing our own capabilities to deliver information on disasters, earthquake, to the National Operational Communication Center. Particular level of activities are related to building new technical capacities, modes and contents of the information on earthquake impact that we are providing to OCC. Last but not the least, we have strengthened the cooperation in seismic waveform data exchange with National Observatory of Athens as our national node towards European seismological community services, providing better and wider communication and visibility of IHMS seismic service as well.
The reason why we, from the Commission and DG ECHO, support and finance these full-scale exercises is because we believe they are a very important tool in improving the preparedness. And this is because they are targeting all the levels from the ground with the teams that we have seen, the municipalities, up to the national level, in this case in Montenegro, and then to the European level, with the Emergency Response Coordination Center in Brussels. So the multi-level effect is very important. This is mainly an exercise for Montenegro to test and train their procedures, their structures, but it's also a multi-sector exercise. So we see the relevant sectors that would be involved in a real disaster response is also involved in the exercise. And finally, very important, it is a multinational exercise. So in this case, 8 countries working together. And this is important because the Union Civil Protection Mechanism, with its 34 members, need to train this exercise. We need to train this mechanism. We need to train the coordination from Brussels and the member states. We need to train the teams that will deploy. And we need to train the host country in how to request, receive, and integrate this international response.
Директорат за zaštitu i spašavanje koji ja predstavljam je organizator ove velike međunarodne vježbe i ona je veoma značajna kako za nas u Crnoj Gori, tako i za sve zemlje učesnike.
The Directorate for Rescue and Protection, which I am representing, is the organizer of this large-scale exercise for the earthquake event. And it is very important as for us, so for the other countries who are participating here.
There's several phases of the exercise which are important. The first one is what we call the host nation support. So is receiving the teams, is installing the base of operations, is setting as quick as possible things ready so that we can get to work very quickly and respond very quickly. And then there's the response phase. So it's putting the teams like we are seeing today working and in practice. And this is then a wider exercise where we need to coordinate with local authorities and with local responders.
As engineers, we have the task to assess the buildings post-earthquake. We have applied the methodology of Italy that is validated and tested in the several earthquakes that struck in Italy in the last 30 years. In particular, we as the province of Potenza, we have partner of this project, and we are in Potenza. There was a big earthquake in 1908, and so the engineers from Potenza are all skilled in this kind of assessment.
The Protection Directorate of Croatia is one of the partners in this project, and in this exercise we participate in supporting the evaluation team, training team and Montenegrin rescue team, and we also participate in European Union Civil Protection team. All countries in Adriatic region have similar problems. As Montenegro, so in Croatia we have problems with earthquakes and specifically earthquakes in a region with historical inheritance. So this exercise is an excellent example how to work in this kind of environment and to also exchange the experience and new technologies with our neighboring countries.
This is our commander, the commander of the Provincial Policy Department, Pasquale Riccardella, and his task in this exercise to maintain safety and security here in the BU.
Poi l'abbiamo fatto non solo come sicurezza all'interno di questo campo base, ma anche sulle operazioni che si sono svolte nella città di Kotor.
Our policy department, led by the commander, was also engaged in the different injects on the site in the city, also with tasks related to guarantee safety and security, put, for example, some limitation in order to not avoid people stay near dangerous place due to the operation.
We have brought with us a medical team with an ambulance and 2 firefighting teams, and we are totally 15 persons coming here to give our contribution to the Balance project. First of all is the exchange of experience with other experienced teams, because as you can see, there are more experienced teams as Slovenian, Greek, Cyprus teams, and that's a good help for us. And we have to deal with difficult situations in Albania. For us, it's important to have this exchange.
We're here participating at the exercise, the Balance 222. So our job here is to search and rescue for victims, live and dead, mostly live victims, as an international team. Following all the INSRAG guidelines and all the procedures that we use in these situations. We also have plenty of equipment, also 2 dogs, 2 canine teams in order to search the areas. We can test ourselves, we can test our equipment, and also we can cooperate with other teams, both from the other countries.
Today we had 2 firefighting situations, one in a school and another one right now cleaning the street here, and another one situation with a medical team in the square in the old town, when we had a situation with 2 dead people and a wounded one.
Now we're in an old military place, military camp, where the scenario of the exercise says that we have multiple victims, both live and dead. So we cooperate all teams. We have divided the whole area in sectors. We have sectorized it, and each team has got its own sector to work, cooperating with other teams. So we both search the area with specific procedures, and dogs and cameras and everything, drones as well. And it's very interesting because we have plenty of scenarios.
About the scenario of exercise is the most realistic, the scenario that we can to expect in Montenegro. And also this project is good because they give us the learning opportunity that we exchange experience, knowledge, information about the disaster risk reduction. And also it's good platform for improving cooperation, cross-border, bilateral, and also cooperation at the EU level in the case of disaster. In this context, we organized the 2 trainings, one in Podgorica and second in Tirana, in Albania.
I'm one part of the team who makes scenario for this exercise together with Ministry of Interior and their teams for this type of accidents. We work together. A long time ago we started to research the location where we can work in this case.
When we speak about the full-scale exercise, it's important to remember it's not just this week of the field exercise. It's a project that goes on for 2 years, and the learning actually takes place from the very beginning in the planning, coming together, comparing our procedures, getting to know each other, conducting seminars and discussion, and maybe the most important phase in fact starts now, after the exercise, to go through the evaluation. What did we learn? What is working well and should be kept? And what might need improvement or adjustment? So the exercise is not the objective itself, it's just a tool.
I am from Civil Defense of Cyprus. We are a light user team. We are all volunteers. We are here on 45 people to take participation in the exercise of the balance project. Right now we pull up from a pit hole a victim, a live victim with a rope rescue. It's one of the things we do as a light team.
Our team is user team for sea quick accidents. We are working here 3 days on this training for the sea quick, and we make it with our team many sites here. Our team is the Musa team, we have the dogs. Our team worked today here in the Opatovo, and we work with two teams. One team is for the car crash, what is happening in this sea quick, and the USAR team who works in these buildings here.
We have 35 members of crew with all technical search and rescue. We are from the Balkans. There is a place to many earthquakes. The cooperation and coordination with each country in the Balkans is very important to help each other. That's why this project and this type of exercises is very important for us.
Every team is different. Every team has a level of its own. You can't compare teams. We are brothers and sisters in the team. It's not about competition.
Even the Red Cross of Montenegro is not a directly partner in this project. Since we are a part of civil protection system in Montenegro, we are involved in organizing this exercise and supporting our directorate. So when it comes to our role, we are dealing with the camp management. And of course our teams for first aid and psychological support are on sites when needed.
This exercise is used for Red Cross of Serbia to try this kind of neighbor help first operation, where we can really see how much time do we need to come to Montenegro and to help with our capacities.
I am from Red Cross Slovenia, and our team is volunteer. In this area is happening earthquake, and we try to help Red Cross of Serbia. We have here triage center. We make first aid to injuries in this field.
This is first time that we are as Serbia for this kind of operation or training, so we gather experience from this exercise.
We are really thankful to our colleagues, and this project is a really big opportunity for all of us to train ourselves and to make better cooperation and coordination among regions.
It's important to cooperate, and especially to train this cooperation. As you can see today, we have teams from Bulgaria, from Cyprus, from Greece, from Montenegro, Albania, Italy, Red Cross of Serbia, Montenegro and Slovenia. And it's important because you can see that they can all work together. So the objective is that they from a practical point of view, they speak the same language and they know more or less the same, they use the same methods and they use the same acronyms. So it's very important because when a disaster will happen, it's much easier to put teams in place working and to provide response as quick as possible. And this is a big step if we prepare beforehand and if we work together beforehand.
The cooperation and the practice of the European solidarity is built upon what we call the interoperability. So with that we mean being able to work together, being able to complement each other's efforts, and also to understand our different ways of working. So this is an important part of the exercise. Not just focusing on the hard skills and the tools and the equipment, but also on the soft skills. How do we make decisions? How do we work together? Establish these networks and even friendships. So indeed, it is a big civil protection community, and some would also say it's a big family of friends with a common goal and a common objective.
This is a critical part of the overall process of the success of this particular project. Why is this? Because you cannot really understand how you can improve your capabilities as a civil protection organization if you haven't assessed how you have performed in the field, not only in terms of the search and rescue operations, but in terms of the overall organization, communication, coordination, and all aspects of the exercise, in order to produce what we call the way forward. The way forward will allow the local organization, here the Civil Protection Authority of Montenegro, to develop a concrete plan that will include steps which will allow the continuous improvement of the civil protection of Montenegro.
I think that the civil protection exercise these days were very successful, not because everything was perfect, but because we have a lot of lessons learned to analyze and then distribute to the whole European civil protection community.
I will repeat to you what the project officer, Mr. Geir Eriksen, has said many times, and we have discussed this. There is not a successful exercise if everything has gone correctly. The successful exercise is the one that identifies areas of improvement. So that's why we're saying here we are not evaluators, we are facilitators of improvement. This is our job. But again, I want to emphasize that this is not something that we will do. We will facilitate it, and it's the responsibility of each particular state that benefits from the implementation of a project exercise to develop these concrete kind of actions in order to serve its citizens.
My impressions are very positive, and I'll explain why. Montenegro is a small country with limited resources, but they managed to organize successfully a 2-year project, a pan-European full-scale exercise. They dared to organize because they care for the citizens, and this is their mission, to improve civil protection for the citizens. So I think it's a very positive example from a small country in Western Balkans, and the cooperation and the agreements between the neighboring countries and Montenegro is a very positive example for the whole European civil protection community.
It is so important because for any country, and we're not talking only about Montenegro, for example, countries like Germany, like France, they have found out during the last years that it's impossible to handle the disaster types on their own and the disaster effects on their own. We have all sorts of disasters nowadays, from mega fires, from earthquakes, floods, tsunamis, that cannot be handled by local authorities on their own. So cooperation is not just a desirable thing, it is a need.
In order to prepare this exercise, we organized the 3 planning conference. First was online in the May 2021, and other was in persons in Podgorica, in order to discuss about the scenario, location, to prepare meal exercise manual, to agree about the exercise structure and incoming operational team, and I would like to emphasize organization of the study visit. In September 2021, it is the study visit to the pilot area of Boka Kotorska Bay. The aim of this visit was to visit the location, potential location for the exercise. Also, in the territory of the Boka Kotorska Bay, in the 3 municipalities, we were organized educational workshops and also raising awareness campaigns on the seismic risk reduction topic to the citizens, to the children and the citizens. And of course, we organized this exercise, full-scale exercise, but prior to this exercise, we organized the two exercises. In the June, tabletop exercise in the Kumbor, and also prior this full-scale exercise, common pose exercise. On this exercise, participants from Montenegro, from the partners country, had the opportunity to testing SOPs, procedures, host nation supports, guidelines, also procedures relating to the receiving, sending assistance, and also to discuss about the involvement of the international incoming teams.
Da se zahvalim naravno prije svega našim partnerima iz Europske komisije koji su pokrovitelji ove vježbe.
And first of all, I would like to thank to the partners from the European Commission, under which umbrella is this exercise carried out.
A naravno i svima partnerima koji su došli iz međunarodnih timova, našim službama sa lokalnog nivoa i našem nacionalnom timu za zaštitu i spašavanje.
Then all the international teams that have arrived here, our national teams from the local communities and the team from the national level.
Na taj način smo provjerili još jednom i uvježbali načine postupanja u slučajima razornih zemljotresa.
This was a manner once again to test the mechanism for action in the case of disaster.